Oh man, to be a follower of Jesus to me means to put my agendas to the side and put Christ's agenda to the forefront, which means, to me, I feel like it's seeing things through God's eyes. God, like, He desires a relationship with us, so that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to live out God's dream of helping people to come back to God through Jesus.
It's something that I feel like is a part of my everyday life now. It's like waking up, brushing your teeth. It's one of those things that make me feel alive, where I connect with people spiritually. It's like when you go together and you come together, it's a spiritual energy that's there. And you have something like that, it's very powerful because we all have the same problems. We all go through difficulties. House church is a place it's a community, a small little community. You can feel yourself. You don't have to worry about telling people your problems. You can tell everyone there. It's a really great experience.
This really began as a small team of people starting a single church in a neighborhood in the Bronx. And what we quickly realized was that God could really use us to make an impact on the city when many groups were multiplied and spread across the city, and when church behaved as a family.
Organic churches in the city can help in that we create organisms, not organizations, but organisms in which the organs, supposedly talking about the church in 1 Corinthians, each organ is equally valuable and participates. So we become truly an army of the Lord to transform the city that way.
Really, you know, in an organic church, the great thing about it is that it's an opportunity for everybody to share. We don't all turn up and just listen to one person. We all have a voice there. And I think for people to have a voice within that context, you know, a Bible study, prayer, relationships is really what we all really want.
Participating in this network has made a huge difference in my life because it's given me family, a home away from home. I'm from London, my parents are from Nigeria, and they're all, my family all scattered all over the place. So it's given me a base from which I can then go out and have a sense of fullness to give.
The thing that's unique and positive about House Church is that it's so small that everyone can hold each other into accountability. You know, it's a great place to really put your faith into practice. Everyone knows each other. You know, everyone knows each other's names. Everyone knows each other's background. You know, and even everyone knows each other's struggles. You know, everyone there knows each other to the point where there's no judging. You know, no one's gonna judge you for having tattoos. No one's gonna judge you for having piercings.
Cuando yo conocí la iglesia orgánica, la iglesia sencilla y fácil en la que me puedo conducir y ser yo, sin necesidad de cambiar nada y ser auténtica delante de Cristo, que esa es la idea, ser auténticos en Cristo. Ha transformado mi vida y la vida de mi familia porque seguimos siendo nosotros mismos, amándonos y amando a Cristo en un ambiente simple, en un ambiente sencillo. Entonces yo diría que sí, que ha transformado mucho.
One of the things that we've experienced is that when church is a family and Jesus invited to be among people as they encounter His Word and pray to Him and listen to how He leads us, lives are truly transformed, and we want to see more of that.
I've learned compassion, commitment, obedience. I've learned to think of others. I've learned to understand Him and His journey.
Since I have a father now, when I'm stressed or angry or sad or moody, I have someone to lean on, I have something to look forward to, and just have a reason to live.
My baptism was a huge turning point in my life, especially because it was a personal decision that I had made. It happened right here in those waters, and it was really one of the more beautiful things, especially because my house church was here and everybody came out early in the morning to welcome me, and I was received by a house church. My son still talks about it, and I'm very proud that I was able to model that for my son, which most people from my background don't get to do. It was just a very powerful moment, and from that moment forward, I really felt that the Spirit had come into me in a different way because of my personal choice that I made as an adult.
We really found that sometimes people do get intimidated at the thought of starting something and their own participation in what God's doing in the world. But really, involvement is something that can be so simple. The main thing is our hearts are turning to Jesus and learning from Him and are open to what He has for us.
The way this whole thing started was a bunch of people not knowing about nothing and learning together, understanding. And what makes my group so good is that we all pretty much know the same amount. And we're always eager to learn more. You know, so it's like, it's no one person above who knows more than the other. To me, it's more than Bible study. Because we talk about everything. We talk about God, we talk about ourselves, the improvements we make over the week. If God had impact in any of those improvements. And sometimes it's really cool because you hear people that say, you know, I never really believed in God, but I kind of felt this is what happened, and it was kind of coincident that maybe that worked, and I said, of course.
Being in house church, I feel like God has really used me in many ways. He's used me to lead many groups, including youth groups, including groups among friends, family. I was able to baptize my brother-in-law and a really close friend of mine. And my main role is to stick with a group that I've planted until they're strong enough to do things on their own, and then I'm able to go off and plant some more.
Una persona ordinaria, yo soy ordinaria. No tengo mucha educación, pero Dios me ha dado el deseo, el discernimiento y sobre todo la esperanza de poder hacer algo por la vida. No necesitas exactamente ser un letrado, no necesitas ser un estudioso para que una persona ordinaria pueda llegar al corazón del hombre y ministrar la palabra de Dios.
We dream of seeing small groups where church is family, spreading across the city and even beyond. And we've seen the possibilities of families of God multiplying across the city. And as a result, this city would never be the same.